Ethereum breakout or fake out? On July 14th, Ethereum developers announced that the merge with the Beacon chain was set for September the 19th. On July 16th, 2 days later, Ethereum broke out to $1,350 and set a new 20-day high. Is this a bear market fake out? Or is it a breakout and a shift to a bull market? I think that the probability is that it's a breakout. Let me tell you why. First, pessimism is at an all-time high. People are waiting for a $10,000 Bitcoin and a $600 Ether. For example, take a look at this Bloomberg MLIV Pulse survey. Out of 950 investors surveyed, 60% said that Bitcoin will go to $10,000 before it goes to $30,000. Which level will Bitcoin trade at first, 10K or 30K? 60% said $10,000. Also, 20% of those surveyed said that crypto assets are worthless. Allow me to ask you some questions. Is Ethereum overvalued at the present time? Is the Ethereum valuation excessive at the present time? At $1,350, would you say that Ether is overvalued or undervalued? Which do you think is a more appropriate value for Ether? $600 or $2,400? I think that $2,400 is a more appropriate value for Ether. Perhaps you would disagree with me and think that I'm overly optimistic, but I would characterize a $600 Ethereum price as extremely pessimistic. Of course, I could be wrong, but I think that a $600 Ether price is highly unlikely in 2022. On the other hand, I think a $2,400 Ether price is highly likely in 2022. When pessimism is at extreme levels, like they are now, it's a great time to be a buyer. If I spent $10,000 on Ether today, could I lose half of my investment in the next 30 days? Yes, I could. But what's the risk of Ether going to 600? I think it's low. What's the risk of Ether going to 2,400 in the next 60 days? I think it's high. So the risk-reward ratio is weighted to the upside. In my opinion, there's low potential for a downside and high potential for an upside. Broad consensus, like we see in the Bloomberg survey, that crypto markets are heading down further, usually reflects that most investors have already acted. I mean, take a look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Bitcoin has zero value. He dismisses Bitcoin as valueless. He says, I trade in Bitcoin, but I don't think it has any value. I'm just playing the game, he says. So when the majority are fearfully selling, we should stand on our conviction and start buying. My first point is that pessimism is at an all-time high. Second, we still have a market that's dominated by retail investors. Institutional investors have not come into crypto markets in great numbers. The reason for this is a lack of regulation. We don't currently know if Ethereum is a security regulated by the SEC or a commodity regulated by the CFTC. I mean, which is it? According to Gary Gensler, Ether is a security and perhaps falls under his jurisdiction. Also, the SEC and FASBA, or the Financial Accounting Standards Board, are holding back public companies from investing in Bitcoin and in Ethereum. We don't have any ETFs in the US for investing in Bitcoin or Ethereum. Institutional investors are largely on the sidelines. And that's the reason why that we have the market that's dominated by retail investors. Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Litecoin, these are top 20 crypto assets at the current time. the market is still dominated by retail investors, and the institutional investors are largely on the sidelines. My third point is that a recession might not be a sure thing. Yes, GDP shrank in the first half of the year, but jobs grew. Consumers are very negative about inflation, but retail sales are up, and they're still spending. The risk of recession is probably 50-50, and some people think that it's less than 50%. The Citibank CEO says, "Little of the data I see tells me that the U.S. is on the cusp of a recession." My fourth point is that the Ethereum merge is coming. It's coming on September the 19th, and the merge is going to be good for crypto. It's going to be good for Ethereum, but it's going to be also good for crypto in general. I think the merge is likely to kick off the next bull run for crypto assets. Post-merge, Ether issuance will drop by 89%. So rather than 15,000 new Ether coming into existence every day, we're going to have 1,600 new Ether coming into existence every day. Rather than 5.5 million Ether coming into an existence per year, as you see on Ultrasound Money, when we click the Simulate Merge, we see it drop to less than 600,000 Ether per year coming into existence. So Ethereum inflation will be cut by 9x. Ethereum will become 9 times more scarce than it is today post-merge. As Uganda is discovering 12 trillion US dollars in gold deposits, Ethereum is becoming 9 times more scarce. And scarcity usually is accompanied by an increase in price. Finally, post-merge, staking rewards for Ethereum are expected to double. According to Coinbase Research, rather than the 4% or 5% staking rewards that we currently have, we're likely going to see double that. We're likely looking at 9%, 10%, 11%, even 12% staking rewards post-merge. So rather than people pulling out their Ethereum from staking contracts, I think we'll likely see inflows into the Ethereum staking contract. Again, allow me to ask you some questions. What are the odds that Ethereum will decrease in value over the next year? What are the odds that Ethereum will increase in value over the next year? I would say that the probability is that Ether will be higher a year from now. And this probability that Ether will be higher a year from now greatly exceeds the probability that Ether will be lower a year from now. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments below. To grow your stack, follow this crypto coach.